evolution in many types of technology, including blockchain. And so for a few years now, we've really been trying to understand what blockchain is, how Bitcoin works. And this experiment is part of that evolution. We started by offering Bitcoin in our cafeteria so people can buy food in our cafeteria with Bitcoin. And then about 18 months ago, we enabled people to donate to our Fidelity charitable donor-advised fund, Bitcoin. And now just this week, we've announced the ability for people who have Coinbase accounts to view their accounts through Fidelity.
Hadley, when we discussed this news when it came out, there was a lot of skepticism, including on my part. And it was even suggested that the reason why you guys needed to do this was because you missed the technology of ETFs. Is it fair to say that now you're scrambling to catch up, maybe get out ahead of what could be the next major technological change on Wall Street?
Well, the ETF story I'll leave aside. I'm part of the Fidelity Labs team, which is an innovation group. And our team developed the first iPhone app and launched Fidelity on Facebook and Twitter. And really, this is part of our view that blockchain technology is going to change the world. For the first time, you can transfer value through software and software alone. This is a huge change. And Bitcoin, Ether, and Litecoin and others are really the first part of this.
Hadley, it's Evan Newmark. So people like me, I have trouble getting my hands around the Bitcoin thing. So explain to me that if tomorrow the central banks and the governments of China, Russia, the United States decided to outlaw the use of digital currencies, whether there would still be a market for Bitcoin. In other words, in my view, again, which I'm admitting I don't fully understand it, I view cryptocurrencies as largely an easy way for undetected value transfer, which kind of lends itself to money laundering, tax evasion, and people who don't want their kind of currency transactions tracked. Why am I wrong in looking at it that way?
I think you are a little misguided. So, first of all, we are just allowing our customers to see what they're investing in. So we're not necessarily making a judgment on Bitcoin. But really, first of all, this is digital gold. So that's the way to look at it. And you really can't ban Bitcoin. Banning Bitcoin would be like trying to ban the web or the open internet protocols. So whether governments like it or not, it's here to stay. And yes, some elements of Bitcoin and these technologies are used for nefarious reasons. But I think the US dollar is used for some fairly sketchy things as well. So we need to step back and view the technology innovation. And what's the big story here? And the big story is you can transfer value through software and software alone. This is a huge societal breakthrough. And regardless of whether Bitcoin is going to be the one to survive, it could be like Napster. We all use Napster today. We use Spotify and Apple Music. But this is a big change.
Hadley, what is the big picture problem that is solved by being able to transfer value strictly through software? Is it a cost issue? Is there something else that makes it, that much more superior or adaptable? And how do you connect that technology to what the value of Bitcoin should be?
Yeah, so to answer your first question, it's an innovation. So just like music was made digital, CDs worked really well and records worked really well, but digital music worked a lot better and changed things. And Mark Andreessen has this great quote, "Software will eat the world." So this innovation is here to stay. And I do think it will make things, whether it's Bitcoin or blockchain, things better, faster, cheaper, and create all sorts of new products, services that we can't even imagine. It's like us sitting here when the first web browser came out, trying to imagine Google and Facebook. You couldn't have. So we're very early. Your second part of your question around how Bitcoin's price is correlated is a trickier one. There are various different ways that you can look at it. I believe gold is about $7 trillion right now. Bitcoin is about 120 billion. So that would be one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is it's an uncorrelated asset, which is very appealing to some people.